Hey everyone, welcome. And my name's Sharni, and I run a digital marketing agency here in Australia called Forj Marketing. And one of the cool things I think about running a business is all the amazing people that you get to meet in your journey. And today I've got the absolute pleasure of introducing you to Brent Phillips. He's the head of marketing at Paya. Have I got that right, Brent? Yeah, awesome. At Paya. Over in the US. And so we were just talking about how we actually met because, as you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, there's a lot of people that I met through Twitter, but we were trying to figure it out. We think that we actually met through LinkedIn potentially, or Instagram maybe. But it was really cool. It's always really cool to meet interesting people doing interesting things. And Brent is definitely one of those people. So Brent, introduce yourself. Tell everyone who it is that you are and what you do.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Sharni. Happy to be here. Excited to finally talk in person. So I'm the head of marketing for Paya. We are an integrated payments company here in the US. And we primarily deal with B2B businesses. So organizations that have software that they provide to other companies, we would provide a payment capability within their technology. And so we manage all of the back-end payment processing. I've been in the industry for about 13 years. And prior to that was in marketing for other companies. So started at VeriSign and then moved to Microsoft and now here in the payment space based in Atlanta.
Yeah, nice. So what's the weather like there at the moment?
It's surprisingly cold for us. Georgia is known for heat and humidity, and we're now missing both because it's been cool too long.
Yeah.
It's in the 60s, which I don't know how that translates to Celsius, but
Yeah.
it's maybe not quite sweater weather.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're coming into winter here, so I'm starting to feel the chill as well. Though I don't think we get as cold as what you guys probably experience. But so, talk to me. Like it's crazy times that we're in at the moment, and we've just obviously been talking before the call about some of the stuff that's been happening. But tell me, what is the from a business perspective? I guess what's the current climate there in the US, and how are you seeing things really changing in business over there?
Sure. So a lot of the companies are certainly concerned. Revenue declining. People are not getting out of their homes. We have shelter-at-home mandates in most states. A lot of organizations have implemented work-from-home policies, except for what we consider essential workers. So people in some food service, grocery, healthcare, obviously, and those types of businesses are still out. In my industry, my company deals with electronic payments primarily. So we've still seen good sustainable business so far, but the runway is the concern, right? How long this is going to last and how long we'll have to maintain the state. We do see opportunity though, where a lot of utility companies, for example, in the U.S. are dealing with cash flow concerns, so helping them shift to online payment options, as well as nonprofits and faith-based organizations who maintain community charities, which in many cases are greatly in need right now. So we're helping them quickly shift to online giving as a transitional opportunity for them.
It's interesting, isn't it? I think one of the things that I've seen here, and it sounds like probably similar there, is definitely the fact that, business owners have been thinking about going online or shifting things online or payment processes online or selling products and services online for quite a while, right? Like, I mean, I've been in digital for 5 years, and I know that even before, digital in my own business for 5 years. And I know even before that, it's been around for a little while now, the whole digital space and being able to sell products and services and run your business through the internet. And it's interesting now how one of the biggest things is all of a sudden businesses have realized how important it is, like as in how important it is to just get your business in that space and start accessing that space in a big way and offering the services that technology does provide. So in some ways, as much as it's not good in the sense that there's that rush now to get, I mean, we've had clients come and say, look, how quick can you get it done? And, all this kind of stuff, which, obviously we're trying to move really fast to help our clients, I mean, most of our current clients were obviously already online, but there's been some new clients come on board recently who, wanted that big shift really quickly, which is fine. We've managed to support them in that. But what I'm saying is I think in some ways, as much as the crisis is definitely not a good thing, in some ways it is really changing business and really forcing people to actually move into that technology space. Would you say the same sort of thing?
I would agree. I would agree. A lot of businesses have been talking about digital transformation in general for a number of years now. And that could mean anything from automation on the back end to being more present on the front end and selling online. To your point, we see a lot of that. And we do see a lot of businesses either directly transitioning to e-commerce or reinforcing what e-commerce they already have,
Yeah.
which is great. And then what's really exciting is they're starting to use their social channels as ways to reinforce the fact that they're still available, they're still open, and they can access their customers through these things, right? And through our laptops and our internet, right? That's still very vibrant and active. Um, I can give you an anecdote. A great example is a friend of mine that has a local a nutrition store. And she has posted on Instagram almost daily
Yeah.
the special she has, the fact that they're sanitizing packages people can pick up,
Yeah.
and her staff can deliver. And
Yeah.
so she's changed her model very quickly to accommodate the new conditions that we're living in.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. And I mean, it's funny, like that's the thing, right? Is that social media as well has now become not just something that we just post pretty pictures on, but all of a sudden it's the power of social media has become, really evident in that.
Yeah.
Same thing here, right? Businesses here, same thing, especially restaurants and things like that, using it to really push out, their services. I think one of the cool things that I'm seeing here where we live is just that community support for all those businesses, like people, really thinking about, how do we actually support the businesses who are challenged at the moment, who have been forced to change the way they do business or shut their doors or, just offer takeaway and things like that. So yeah, social media is really good. Now you use social media a lot personally, because that's how we obviously interact. So have you got any, from a marketing perspective, like what's one of the things that you would sort of say to people about, at this time, how they can be using it better?
Oh wow, how can they be using it better? So in the case of my business, we've really tried to stop pitching our business and in a very genuine way, looking for ways to help organizations. So we share our stories, we highlight where we've had success. Um, we've made some business decisions as well that will help our customers and partners in terms of waiving fees. Um, but I think anything we can do to promote um, the success stories, to help inspire other businesses and to help share good news. I think that's a great way that social media can benefit everyone right now. Don't think of it as still a brand activity necessarily, or or just promotion. It's a way to communicate and to share, the reality that we're living in, and any way we can do that in a positive light, I think will be helpful for everyone.
Mm. Yeah, it actually brings up a really good point. Like I do a lot of social media training with small business owners, and one of the things that I have to bring up on a regular basis is that social media is supposed to be social. Like there's supposed to be this kind of communication happening between you as a business owner and your brand and your audience. And it's not supposed to be used as just advertising. Like we're not just
Right.
there to pump out ads like we used to in traditional media. It's like we just create this big ad and everyone comes and is attracted to it and comes in our doors. But we actually are meant to be building relationships with our customers through storytelling and through interacting with them and whatever. So it's funny that that you say that that's a really important thing right now. And I actually think that moving forward, it's a really important thing for people to be focused on all the time. Is how do we actually talk to people like we realize there's real people on the other end of our phones, on the other end of the computer screen, and especially we talk about live video as well, and we say, look, think about the pretend you've got a person standing in front of you. How would you communicate with that person? You wouldn't just say, hey, sale 50% off, like whatever. So
That's a great point. That's a great point. It's something that's got to be genuine, and I think people receiving it have to believe that it's genuine, or else it's a turnoff. It doesn't connect.
yeah.
I think there's a humanness to it that is critical.
Yeah, totally. So what do you think is going to be the key thing for businesses to really get through this time? So obviously it is going to end at some point, right? And everyone's saying that the world has changed. And I think, in some ways, like we said, the world will change for the better, because people are waking up to, some things that perhaps have been pushed under the rug for a little while. But, what do you think is going to be the key for business owners at this time to really get through and come out the other end, I guess, better off?
I think be creative about how you can continue to service your customers, whatever their experience is. How do you make that experience work under the new rules that we've been given by this epidemic? In the case of my friend that owns the nutrition shop, she's changed her business model to accommodate people who still want to buy those goods. As you see, restaurants, they've pivoted from in room dining to go or carry out, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's up to the business owners to figure out if there is a path to continue to service the customers, and then be very open and verbose, even through social media, that they're still available and here's how they're doing it, and make sure that they're sending a message that lets people know that not only are they open, but they're doing it in a smart, safe, healthy way, so that there's continuity under the new rules that we've got in front of us.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I've heard the quote thrown around quite a few times that necessity is the mother of all invention, and
Sure.
they talk about that even in crises of old, in various pandemics and other the world wars and things like that. Out of those times came some of the greatest inventions, that things shift and change during those times. And I think the challenge for all of us is to stay really open-minded about what we can be changing. I had a call with a lady the other day, and we were talking about the fact that these kinds of times are a really good opportunity to have a really good look at what you're doing. Everything's shifting anyway. Everything's changing anyway. We're out of our comfort zone. We're out into the unknown kind of space of, how do we do business now? For a lot of people, obviously you and I are, we're sort of ticking along pretty well because of the way our business runs anyway. But for a lot of business owners, it's really uncomfortable right now. And
Right.
sometimes it takes these kinds of hard things to actually make us change what we're doing, and have a good look at what we're doing. And even personally, I think there's a lot of people who are really sitting back and thinking, is this job, now I've my hours have been cut, and whatever, I'm working from home, is this the job I actually really even want to be doing anymore?
Yep.
So it's a good time to really be asking those questions, I think, and be bold enough to make some decisions that are gonna shift things for the good in the future. Other trends, Brent, what other trends are you seeing over there, even in some of the bigger companies?
Recently, just Starbucks has just announced a new model that they'll be adopting to open their stores back up, and I can't recall the way they worded it, but it's along the lines of just kind of a step function forward on just protecting their employees, but making the stores more accessible. A lot of those shops are still open, but very limited in how they serve the public. So I think companies are evaluating ways to do that in a smart way. The other thing I'm seeing in larger organizations, and the news is all over LinkedIn, but the Microsofts, the Amazons of the world are working with employees, either with paid time off or flexible work hours to accommodate the children who are being homeschooled now, which is a huge issue. You have this influx of kids staying at home who are now online with their classes. So a lot of parents are having to juggle that. So companies are being very accommodating, I think, in general, to support those types of things. Those are big ones. I think, and then of course the rallying and supporting of the healthcare workers. A lot of donations. See a lot of people doing what they can to help there as well. So I think in the States there's a big rally around our communities, and obviously taking care of those that are on the front lines.
Yeah, awesome. It sounds very similar to here, I think.
Sure.
And that's the interesting thing about this crisis, is that it is global and we are all in it together, essentially.
Yep.
And very similar patterns happening over here as well in that. It's funny, the juggling the kids, that we've got 2 kids at home, and it's going to be interesting. They go back to school in, I think, a week's time, and at home. School at home.
Oh, okay.
At this stage, so it'll be interesting to see how we go with that, because we haven't done it for a little while. We haven't had them home that long for a little while, so but that's okay. I was going to say, what process? So within your company, obviously you're head of marketing. Do you have a whole team that works with you, or like
I do.
you got a marketing team? Yeah.
Mhm.
So what kind of process do you guys go through as far as problem solving and creative solutions within your team? How do you work that? Do you do it regularly, or?
We do. So through this particular issue, through the crisis, we'll call it, I have a daily with my team. We're all calling in and doing this on video.
Yeah.
And we just talk about the tasks ahead of us for the day just to check in. We spend a few minutes kind of laughing, catching up, and then we just run down our lists of to-dos. We also do a lot of a lot of FaceTime meetings, just to keep the continuity of the relationships going within the team, the normalcy, I should say. In terms of process for ideation, we do a lot of brainstorming.
Yeah.
We'll whiteboard, we'll email concepts around. It just depends on what the project is. But I have a very good team with a very diverse set of skills. So we come together often and just talk through a problem together in real time and tend to get it 80 to 90% solved.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds amazing. Yeah, really good. And what have you seen in business? So you've obviously, you've been working for fairly solid companies for quite a while now, and I believe you also teach at university. Was that what you were saying?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what would be your top three? What would be your top three strategies, I guess, that you think that you see in businesses all the time that potentially they're challenged with, or perhaps in successful businesses? What have you seen as the top three strategies that they will implement in general?
Oh, wow.
Not even just in the crisis, but just in general. What would be your top three things that every successful business you've seen or experienced have got down pat?
Top three. Wow. So
Or it might be more.
Pressure. Yeah. So top three. So I think one thing for me, so I've spent a lot of time in the product side of companies, product marketing, product management, business development. And I think one thing that companies that are successful can do is they are very entrenched with the users of their products, right? I've seen companies that have thought of great ideas. They've spent time and money to build a great idea, and it lands flat in the market. So I think if you're a product company or a solution company, you have to be entrenched with your users. I think that's first and foremost. And then I can't say enough about the effectiveness of the communication efforts, right? I think also you've got to create good content, right? You've got to deliver good content. You've got to be able to consistently, push new material out, not only for existing customers, but also for your pipeline. I think there's a science and art that comes together to communicate effectively. And I know you know that all too well in your role.
Yeah.
And then I think the last thing for any business is just being exceptional at support, right? The people that you sell to, especially in a business to business world, not that it's any less for business to consumer, but business to business has critical dependencies on your technology or your offering sometimes. And if your support is not there, and they fail or they have an issue because of your lack of support or attention, then that becomes a cascading effect that could impact many other organizations. So market well, orient your products to the users, and then be ready to support them for the long run and make sure they're successful. And when they're successful, you're successful.
Boom. There you go. Awesome.
Right off the top of my head.
That was amazing. You do well under pressure. Love it. And amazing. All three of those so essential in business. And I'm sure that that's what you guys do well. And that's what we obviously try to do well our end as well. So cool. Have you got anything else that you wanted to share?
Oh no, this has been great. I think we're riding a tide that we've never ridden before, and it's great to be able to share ideas and collaborate like this halfway around the world.
Yeah.
If anybody in your network is in the States and is interested in what we do for integrated payments, please check out our website. It's Paya, Paya.com, or feel free to get in touch with me through Sharni here. That'd be great. Happy to talk in more detail about the business.
Yeah, awesome. And make sure you follow him on every social media channel that he's on.
Absolutely. I welcome it. Thanks.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. No, it's been an absolute pleasure, Brent. And yeah, just wish you all the best. And hopefully this doesn't go on for too long. But in the meantime, enjoy the nice cozy routine of being at home. And it's funny, someone said to me the other day, they said it's funny when you're working full time in an office or something, all you want to do is spend some time at home. And now we've all got what we wish for. So there you go.
Now
But
we're
yeah,
getting a little stir crazy.
yeah, totally. All right, awesome. Well, we'll leave it there. I'm just going to hit the pause.